Today on Mystery Hunters.
Extraterrestrials.
What is that?
Are they visiting Earth?
Space aliens.
Are they creating amazing designs called crop circles? I go to England to find out.
Little green men.
Are they dropping in from the sky?
Bug-eyed monsters.
Are they hanging out in Brazil? I go to the city of Varginha to investigate a case of an alien encounter.
And I show you how to make your own alien encounter in the hoax of the century.
Alien activity around here.
Wait a minute.
Alien running through.
This is Mystery Hunters.
Strange circles have been mysteriously turning up all over the world. They form in farmers' fields when the crops are growing, and no place on Earth sees more of them than England. Wiltshire in England is mostly farm country. The fields look just like you'd expect them to at this time of the year. They're filled with growing plants. But when the farmers go to bed at night, they never know if they're gonna wake up to this. Their crops mysteriously flattened into huge circles and elaborate shapes by something or someone. Charles and Francis Mallet own the Silent Circle Cafe. People all over Wiltshire phone in and report new crop circles to them. Hi, Araya.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
This is the geographical concentration of this year's circles, all pretty much in our neighbourhood.
Well, which one's the latest?
The latest, really impressive one, okay? It's just up here at this pin, Stonehenge. One of the best I've ever seen.
Can you take me there?
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's Daniel. This has got to be the spot.
Daniel Locke joins us. He does field research for scientists in the United States who are analyzing crop circles. Okay. Well, it's kind of hard to see it from here.
We're just coming up to the edge now.
That must be the center of it. Wow, it's pretty big. So what makes you think this is a real crop circle?
When I actually came here on day one, it had been raining quite hard for almost a week before the actual circle arrived. When we first come in here, we couldn't find a single footprint, no signs of mud on the plants at all. Everything was smooth and consistent all over.
So you don't think that a human being could have made this circle?
Certainly no human beings that I'm aware of could have made this circle. Absolutely no doubt about that at all.
At 3:30 on a normal Saturday afternoon in 1996, 3 girls were walking home through this field. Liliane De Silva was one of the girls.
Estávamos caminhando.
She says she was with her friends when she saw a strange creature.
Que isso? Falei assim.
She said, "Look, guys." Then they saw it move.
E fugimos.
And they took off.
What did it look like?
Liliane says it was dark brown with a big head with 3 horns on top of it. It had no hair, but it had greasy, dark oil all over its skin. She first noticed its eyes, huge and red. It also had a strong, stinky smell in the air. The girl's description of the creature has found its way into Brazilian pop culture. Liliane says it wasn't like any animal or human being. It was the ugliest thing she had ever seen.
How close were you to it when you saw it?
She says it was only about 5 meters away. The girls told Liliane's mother what happened, and she went back to the field with them.
How long afterwards was that?
She says about 20 minutes.
Was the creature still there?
No,
She says no, that she didn't see the animal. She only saw footprints and smelled something really bad that stayed in her nose for 3 days.
Can you draw me what you saw?
Could this be the footprint of an alien?
The night before the creature appeared, a farmer reported seeing a strange object in the night sky.
Here's a question. Are you watching me, or am I watching you? Ow. That's what 10-year-old Lucy Hollingberry of Ashford, England wants to know. Take a look on the Mystery Illustrator. Dear Doubting Dave, sometimes I get this weird feeling like I'm being watched. It happens at home, at school, even outside in the country. Could there be something watching me? Well, Lucy, lots of people who claim they were abducted by aliens say that at first they felt like they were being watched. But I don't think that's what's happening to you. The truth is, people have been getting that feeling for thousands of years. It goes back to when we were cavemen, and there was danger all around us. If you were alone for a while, all your senses had to perk up in case something bigger and badder than you was hiding in the bushes. The smallest noise, like a leaf moving or a twig snapping, could put your whole body on red alert. Today, we still have those instincts. So when you're sitting alone in a room, you get more sensitive. And sometimes that means every tiny sound can make you think. Someone is nearby, watching you, waiting to pounce. So, Lucy, when you're alone and you get that feeling, I don't think anything's really watching you. And I'm sure you're not seeing things.
You're probably just in touch with your cave woman roots.
Already this summer, 40 circles have mysteriously appeared in crop fields in this one part of England. Who or what could be making them, and why? Charles thinks humans did not create this crop circle because the crops are bent like this.
You put all your body weight onto it.
If people made this circle, he shows me how the crops would have snapped.
As can be seen, it's just crushed, you know, and this is the weight of a boy.
Look at these. You see how there's these holes in these nodes?
Yeah, something pushed them up from the inside.
That's right, yeah.
And is there a reason why they explode, you know?
Daniel thinks these holes are evidence that something suddenly heated up these plants, turning the water that's naturally inside them into steam.
They'll actually explode like that when the steam is released.
And I actually found a snail baked onto the top of one of these plants. Never seen that before, but extremely strange. But it was literally cooked and welded to the plant.
What could cause all this?
Well, the scientific research that's been done in the States suggests some sort of microwave energy.
From what?
Daniel says it could be a special type of lightning. Charles says maybe aliens.
It's some type of spinning ion plasma vortex which causes them, which is basically like a form of lightning which comes down and creates these shapes.
Some people who report seeing crop circles form say they hear a high-pitched noise, and then suddenly a tube of white light from the sky strikes the earth, leaving a crop circle.
But how could lightning make all these designs?
Well, just look at something like the snowflake, for instance, which is found within nature. I mean, that's very geometric and perfectly natural.
But Charles thinks something with intelligence made these.
Possibly extraterrestrials, possibly interdimensionals, or possibly something way beyond our comprehension. We just don't know.
Charles has stayed overnight in crop circles before, and he saw a very weird thing.
2 globes of light appeared, one just a fraction after the other, just above some trees. And the next morning, there was a circle there.
Some people believe this crop formation could be the letters of an alien language.
If If an intelligent life form really is creating crop circles in the middle of the night, what kind of intelligent life form? If I want to get to the bottom of this mystery, I'm gonna have to come back to the fields after dark.
But what kind of nutcase is going to agree to do something like that?
If it's rare, enchanting, or just plain scary, then Michaela's about to meet it.
Oh, think I must be in the right place.
And not just meet it either.
Am I nervous? But we've already spotted a huge croc. It is time for me to get in the water with a 2-meter shark that has teeth big enough to take my arm off. Are we nuts?
Our amazing animal world up close and personal in Michaela's Wild Challenge. On Discovery Kids.
Who said these challenges were going to be easy?
Could the eerie-looking creature that 3 girls saw in this Brazilian field have been an alien?
Just after midnight, the night before the sighting, farmers at this nearby farm saw something very strange in the sky. What happened that night?
Tudo começou naquela noite.
She says she was startled by the sound of farm animals running. She says she got up and looked through the window and saw an object passing by, so she called her husband.
How big was the UFO? Did it have any specific shape and color?
He says it was about the size of a school bus.
A gente avistou.
It was long, it was shaped like a cigar. He says he doesn't know exactly what color it was because it was covered by smoke, although she thinks it may have been gray. Wellington Martins Faria has been investigating UFOs for many years.
What did you find when you came to the field?
He says he checked out the area 5 days after the girl's alien sighting. But by then, rain had washed away the creature's footprints. But people living near here told him they had seen the army, police, and fire department in the field around that time. But the police and fire department don't seem to want to talk about the alien story. The fire brigade told me over the phone they had investigated the sighting. But when I show up there with a camera...
Sergeant Bernardez, you were on duty that day. What can you tell me about the alien sightings?
The sergeant says they never got a call about an extraterrestrial.
What's up with the change of heart? Unless they had something to hide.
Maybe a giant cover-up was happening. Liliane's mom had an unusual visit that would certainly make it seem that way. Soon after the sighting, some men appeared at her house.
Boa tarde, Dona Luísa. Eu gostaria de falar com a senhora.
Estiveram os homens aqui na minha casa.
She says the men told the girls they should lie and say they saw nothing. She says the men offered them money to keep quiet, but she didn't accept because she knows the girls are telling the truth.
Did aliens really land in the city of Varginha in Brazil?
Not everybody is convinced.
Thanks for meeting me, Daniel.
Hi, Christina.
Daniel Sotomayor is an engineer, and he started an organization that takes a skeptical look at supernatural claims. Do you believe the girl's story about the creature?
No, not for a minute.
Daniel thinks it's very possible that what the girls really saw was a wild animal.
Yeah, sure. Maybe a capybara.
I checked out the zoo that's not far from where Liliane and her friend saw the alien. A capybara is a rodent, kind of like a giant rat.
It could kind of look like the creature seen by the girls. They're sitting in the same kind of position. This one's eyes are much bigger than this one. And here at the Varginha Zoo, they have a capybara.
I met Dr. Mina to talk about the capybara.
Dr. Mina, did any animals escape from the zoo around the time of the sightings?
He says no animals had escaped from the zoo.
Could a wild capybara have wandered into town?
He says a wild capybara could have found its way into the city from a river. Lots of rivers go by the city center.
This is a drawing of the footprint of the creature in the field. Could it have been made by an animal at this zoo?
He says it looks like a capybara's paw print. The capybara has 4 fingers, but one of the fingers doesn't always make a print when it puts its paw down.
The girls were about here, and they say the creature was over there when they saw it. Let's see how much they really could have seen. What do you think? Are you close enough to get a good look?
Sort of, for a bright day like this. But you know, could I have seen red ice? I don't think so.
But what about the area being cordoned off and Liliana's mom being asked to keep the story quiet?
Again, it's such a weak evidence for such a strong claim. And the fact that they believe it doesn't mean it's true.
But Liliani's mother says she knows the girl saw something. She's just not sure what. And I did track down someone from the government who believes the girl's story, but even he hasn't been able to get to the truth. Mr. Mendoza is in charge of tourism for this area.
What do you know about the alien sightings?
He says the official version says there was nothing, that nothing happened. It was just people talking.
And what's your opinion?
He says he believes something really happened.
So there's no definite proof that aliens visited Brazil.
But if the real evidence is covered up,
we might never know for sure.
Pretty much all the evidence that aliens have visited Earth comes from eyewitness accounts, what people say they saw. But can people be fooled into thinking they're seeing aliens? That's what we're going to find out. I'm standing near a movie theater, and when the folks inside come out, we're going to try to get them to believe an alien has landed. You can do this too. How? First, you need a UFO. Start with a nice big balloon. Use helium to inflate it. A balloon store should be able to fill your balloon for you. We use helium to give the balloon lifting power. Tie on a dark ribbon so it's camouflaged in the night sky. Now, to disguise your balloon as a UFO, simply attach a few lights to it, like these fantastic chemical glow sticks. You can even use a clear balloon and put the glow sticks inside it. For my hoax, I'm using bicycle lights, which I can attach with Velcro strips. They have a cool flashing pattern that should look really spacey. And voila, instant UFO. To add to the experience, make some feet with spooky alien toes. You can cut them out of a piece of foam, attach them to your own feet, and walk around leaving strange footprints. Finally, you need an alien. And it doesn't have to be a fancy costume like ours. You can just buy a cheap mask and wear something black. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, launch the spaceship. Now, get some friends to help you point out the strange lights in the sky. Do you see it there?
Yes, something floating over there. Look up there.
It works. People notice the lights. And they rush over to check it out. We even got a police car to help us draw more attention to our UFO. Now, you don't need the police to fool your friends, but we wanted to fool a whole neighborhood.
Yo, let's go see what it is. Come on.
And some people notice our weird-looking footprints. And they notice our alien, too.
Alien activity around here.
Oh, wait a minute.
Alien running through.
Oh, wait, elbow.
I actually saw that.
There's an alien invading this planet.
Hey, what's that? What is that?
That's how easy it is to fool people. And when they all report seeing the same thing,
And then there was an alien running across the field in the bushes.
other people start to believe there was a UFO too.
But I'm freaked out. Yeah.
It makes you wonder what eyewitnesses who say they saw monsters, ghosts, and aliens might actually have seen. Could they have been fooled too?
I'm in Wiltshire, England to find out what or who is creating giant circles in farmers' fields.
You see where the tractor's been going down the tractor lines, so we can walk along those lines and never be detected.
If some intelligence is behind crop circles, could it be people? I'm with Peter Sorensen and some friends of his. They're showing me how it's done. Why do you think people make them?
All of these guys are artists, and it's just a new art medium. You know, there's sculpture and there's painting, and now there's crop circles. This is what's called a Celtic cross design. First, we're going to make this circle in the center, and then each of the 4 satellite circles.
Okay, let's do this.
And Danny's going to start sidestepping around.
The first step is to make the outside lines of the circle, just by walking on the plants and using measuring tape to guide you.
This is our stomping board, obviously.
And then you fill in the middle.
With your foot on the board, make pressure, you lift up on the rope, and down it goes. And from here on, you just keep going along this edge, following the line that we just made.
These stomping boards cover a lot of ground pretty quick. A lot of people say that some crop circles couldn't possibly be made by human beings. And why is that?
Well, a lot of crop circles are extremely complex. The other thing, of course, is that it's usually done at night. They think it's impossible to see.
Okay.
Believe me, your eyes adjust at night, and after half an hour, you can see just as well as if there were lights on the crop.
Yeah, I'm looking around here, and it doesn't seem too hard.
No.
So, are we done then?
We are. Let's get out of here.
All right. The next morning, I decided to check out our crop circle the way it was meant to be, from the air. There it is! Here's our crop circle. Wow.
Yep.
It only took us 2 hours to make this, but I've seen much more complicated designs.
Much more complicated designs have been made. I've been involved in some, and I've videotaped the making of very large formations, very complex formations. It's just a question of how many men you have and how long you take.
But what about the unusual plant stalks Daniel and Charles have seen in some of the crop circles? Like the ones with holes in them. I searched around and I couldn't find any in the one that we made. But we did find bent stalks.
You see how all these plants are close together?
Mm-hmm.
So many seeds were in one place at the same time that they wanted to grow away from each other when they're real babies. So the bottom is curved. That curve is what, if you find it out here, you'd think, wow, it went down without any force. It must have been heated by a microwave to soften it and make it curve like that. But in fact, there are lots of them out here in the fields, already standing that way. And when the stomper board pushes it down, bingo, magically bent stalk.
Charles knows people come out at night to make crop circles, but he's always on the lookout for new ones.
Because in my experience, 6 years experience, 20 to 30% of formations are certainly man-made. The rest are not, and are most likely from somewhere else beyond our comprehension.
You know, most scientists don't even bother to study crop circles because they believe people make them all.
But so many huge and incredible designs pop up all over the world. It makes you wonder if they could all be man-made.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Remember, things aren't always what they seem.
Thanks for watching.